The Stone Age Gamer includes a lot of bad language. Cover your mother ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I am Kris Randazzo and joining me tonight is coffee-loving bird Dan Ryan.
I do love coffee. That's very accurate.
We do not have a topic for today. Nope. We're going to talk about what we've been up to and what we've been playing, and that's it. Get your landscape fabric out because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now.
Strap in, strap on, whatever you're into.
Strap up. Hi, everyone. This is episode 385. It's the week of November 12th, 2021. And yeah, we don't have anything to talk about tonight besides like everything we have to talk about, which, I mean, we didn't really talk much about what we've been playing last week, and I have a ton to go over, which I'm very excited about.
There's been a lot that has happened.
Yeah, it's been a busy, last week, having the kids home for Thursday and Friday was just like, man, that really threw off everything because I've just gotten used to having 5 days to do my job.
Right.
And last week we started this sale extravaganza at Stone Age Gamer.
Black turquoise, or turquoise Friday.
Turquoise Friday.
Black turquoise. That's just black, actually.
Yeah.
It's not
this week is Magenta Friday.
Oh,
and in case you haven't pieced it together, we're doing sales every week for the month of November, which, I mean, I call it a spoiler. I'm pretty sure once everybody sees Magenta Friday, they're going to figure that shit out. Like, the colors are going to keep getting darker until Black Friday.
That's right.
It's pretty genius. I like it.
But it's not bad.
No, it's not bad. And what else is funny is that Ryan, Stone Age Gamer proprietor Ryan, he's the one who made the graphics for the sale and the prices and pretty much came up with the idea and everything. But regardless, he was getting me all the.
He's pretty much responsible for the entire thing.
He was getting me the flyers and like the assets and stuff so I could do all the social media posts. And he was like, so I figured out, I didn't know it at the time until after I made all these graphics, but the font that I used for the words is the same font they use for Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, that's exciting.
So if you go on our social media and look at the Turquoise Friday sale thing, that's the Reese's font.
I feel like we have been a bad influence on him because like we completely stole the Stone Age Gamer name from him unknowingly. Yeah. And now he's done the same thing. I don't think it's going to work out in quite the same manner though.
No. I mean, granted, he didn't call it the Reese's sale.
Not
Copyright
yet.
Stone Age.
But he might. And he might. 6 months from now, he might be the president of Hershey Candy Company. Who knows?
That's true.
I mean...
that's a possibility. He's a very charismatic man.
There is a not zero chance that happens. A not zero. Isn't it a non-zero? Isn't that how people usually say that?
Oh God, I don't know.
Non-zero chance.
Wow. I don't know. Of the devil, Ryan just messaged me. I want to know what he had to say.
He's got our complimentary park passes for Hershey Park. He's got the complimentary season passes.
Oh,
he's like, I heard you guys talking. My ears were burning. Here's your tickets, you dicks.
Yes. I sent the blog post for Wednesday, which is funny because I can talk about this because by the time the show comes out, it will have happened already.
Oh, isn't that fun?
Yeah, I like that future technology. Yeah. Magenta Friday deals.
Oh,
outstanding! All right, cool, man.
Right on.
Good and ready to rock. So, what you been up to there, Dan?
Oh God, I don't even know. I have been so tired. Like, I mean, so like my job has been way more stressful this year, and it's just like with everybody back in the office now, and like I come home and I walk in the house and there's a lot of dogs, and then I got to do stuff, and then I just kind of exist until I'm like, oh, it's time to shower. Like, then I go to bed, man. Because, like, that's really been the big thing, like, starting the rescue. So, Safe at Home Rescue, .org, give us money, has officially been, like, a thing for, I think, 6 weeks. Okay. In that 6-week period, we have rescued once Pepper, who's the last one I have at my house right now. The rest of them are all spoken for. Well, they will be, because again, future Wrigley is getting adopted got adopted on Tuesday. Duke Snyder got adopted this past Sunday. So Pepper is the only one that's left. Once she is adopted, that will make 22 dogs, Kris and listeners, in 6 weeks.
Wowzers.
Yeah. Like,
it's a lot of dogs.
Oh my God, dude. It's every day, like, going and dropping and taking something to this foster, and oh, this dog is like fucking going crazy, so we got to go check on him over here, and then pick this one up from the vet, take this one to the vet. This one's getting adopted, so we got to drive over here. This one's doing this, so we got to go over here, and it's just, oh my God, it's a lot.
Like, it sounds like a lot.
It's a lot. And now this podcast comes out on Friday, so on Wednesday we will have gotten an additional 8 dogs in that time. So by the time you all are listening to this, there will be 8 dogs out at foster homes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed. Not at my house. That will then need to be adopted to make room for the Christmas rush.
There's
this is my whole life now.
Dogs?
Oh God, yeah. Christmas puppies. It's a huge fucking thing. It's a huge thing.
I mean, like, I get that people want to give puppies, like, as Christmas presents, but like,
well, see, but the thing is, like I was explaining before the show started, due to the just absurd living conditions that many of these dogs find themselves in, and the lack of medical care that is provided to these animals, there are a large number of puppies that get dumped because they're born with birth defects, or they're, you know, like whatever. Like, the one dog had no testicles. This dog Duke that we just adopted out, when we picked him up from the Amish, they said he had neurological problems. He didn't have fucking neurological problems. You took him away from his mother at 4 weeks old. He didn't learn how to walk. He walks fine now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they just don't care. And then when they're breeding these dogs and breeding, if they don't sell them, once they get to like 12 weeks old, that's about the last point that they are willing to sell them at puppy prices. And then if they still have them at 16 weeks, they take them out back and drown them.
Crikey, drown them.
Without question. Yeah, they just put them in a bag and hold them under the water. Which is all right.
Wow.
Yeah, which is why we go get them. And, you know, so because the Christmas season is coming up, they're overbreeding, and whatever puppies don't sell by Christmas time get dumped. So,
wrap on a cracker.
It's man, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot, but it's a good thing, and like, I'm happy to do it, but it is fucking time consuming, Kris. It is a lot.
Well, in the much less dire circumstance,
yeah, well,
we got
I know.
We took Naga, the dog that we adopted from you.
Mm-hmm.
We took her to get a bath because it had been a while.
Yeah,
and like she loved stinking.
Who doesn't?
There was something about the look on her face. You'd just get down there and pet her, and just the reek would come off of her, and be like, "You stink," and she would always smile. Like, and you know, it was mostly because, like, you know, we had been washing her here, but then the weather got cold, and then our bathroom stopped functioning. So we're like,
right.
All right. But then my mom told us about this pet store out in Smithville where they have like dog baths set up that you can just go over there, pay $10 and go nuts. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
It's a raised bath, so you can stand while you're doing it. And it's got the shower head and a industrial powered blow dryer and all the shampoo you want. It's fantastic. And like for $10, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that once a month.
Like, absolutely, we'll do that once a month. Like, it was great. And but we went there and we walked in and everything was great. And then we saw the shower, the bath area, and that was wonderful. But there was this other woman there washing her dogs. She would not shut up, like, at all. She was just constant advice, constant unsolicited advice on everything we're doing wrong with Naga. Like, oh, what are you feeding her? And like, well, we're feeding her this food, this prescription that the vet recommended. And after trying several different other foods that she couldn't handle and always made her sick and everything. And this one actually works. And this is what we're feeding her. Oh, well, that's the worst kind. Like, you really should read the ingredients that are in these things. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Did you think we didn't read the ingredients?
I'm sorry, you fucking trained medical professional.
No, just I'm sorry, some random woman who has dogs and is washing their dogs, like,
who just happened to be here, like fucking divinity that you were here to save us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank God that you're here to save us from this happy, healthy dog.
Yeah, so I hate dog people, man. I really do. Really
sometimes
do.
It's a good time, sometimes it's not, but her and Fiona are like the best buds. For listeners, Fiona is the dog that my mom adopted from Dan. She's just
such a cool dog.
Little tiny Boston Terrier, and she's gotten so into running and like fetching and stuff, and Naga is just the laziest bag of shit.
She really is.
But man, when you get her around Fiona, they'll both run around for a couple of minutes before deciding that they're tired old ladies. But like,
because they are tired old ladies.
They really are. But since we have to go to my parents' house to shower now, every time we go over there, I bring Naga and open up the back door and let the two of them run around and chase a ball and play like dogs for a little while. And it's always wonderful. Like, even at this point, like for as long as I've had her, it always brings me joy to see Naga be a dog, because there's still so much of her that's programmed to not be a dog. Like, she still walks behind me whenever we go for walks. She won't walk in front of me, and she won't play with me either, which always makes me sad, because like we've gotten pretty close because I walk her every day, and you know, every time we watch TV at night with Karen, I lay down on the floor and just pet the dog, and she has a good old time with that, and she tends to fall asleep next to me while we're watching TV, but she is still absolutely obsessed with Karen. So as soon as she gets up, like, well, fuck you, you're chopped liver, I'm going after this lady.
I don't even fucking know you.
What is this shit? Get away from me. It's really not quite like that. It's more just like I'm petting her, and then like Karen will get up, and then Naga will look at her and be like, "Why aren't you doing this too?"
Hey, I'm here.
I'm here. You have hands. You should be petting me too.
What's wrong with you?
But I actually forgot where I was going with that story. But yeah, she's a good dog. Dogs
are great, man. I highly recommend everyone have a dog. Like, I really do. Don't be a dog person. Yeah, because dog people are awful. But they're awful in the same way that like video game.
I was just gonna say, just like PlayStation awful. Fans.
Yeah, like
Nintendo
PlayStation.
Fans.
Yeah, like don't be that guy. Don't like fucking. I was driving. I dropped Katie off at a friend's house. It's just funny that you talk about this lady, right? Because we're kind of living in this age of like expertise not being valued anymore, kind of across the board, right? I'm not solely talking about political things here, right? Just kind of across the board, we've kind of done away with expertise being something that we give a shit about. So I was dropping Katie off at a friend's house yesterday, and it was before the Eagles game started, right? I am not an Eagles fan, but that's the sports radio here in South Jersey. Whatever, it was just on in the car. And there was the host of the pregame show, and then a former player and a fucking journalist, right? Okay. So, the host of the show...
The disdain for the journalist, really.
Because I fucking hated this guy. Like, I almost had to pull over so I could hate him with my whole body. Like... So
video footage of that.
The host of the show asks the player, and he's like, as a former player, the head coach of the Eagles had, coached some of the guys that they're going to be playing today. Is that important? Does that help when your current coach has coached, some of the people that you're going to be playing against? Can you get like little insights or whatever? And the former player was like, yes, it's not going to change the world, but, every little bit of information helps, and you might get like a certain little tell or something that you might not pick up on film or whatever. And then this fucking journalist guy goes, I don't know, I'm going to have to disagree there. I really don't think it's all that important. And he goes off on this whole little rant. And the guy goes, I'm sorry, what team did you play for? Shut up. And I was like, oh my God, yes, like that. Please put that guy in his fucking place. My goodness, man. Like, the player told you, you don't get to disagree with that, sir. Same thing. Like, you're telling this woman, well, the vet, we went to the, oh, that's the worst one. Get out of here. Tell your story walking, you fucking knucklehead. Come on, man. It's so silly.
Your dogs
don't be a dog
very
person.
Cute, but let me wash my dog in peace, please.
Yeah, I'm not here to chat.
Would not shut up.
Oh man,
I was so happy when we finally got the drying the dog. That one was too loud for you to talk.
You start drying her too. Like, here, just fucking shut up. Good God. I'm sure you guys were like giving her the signals. The please stop talking signals. And I don't.
We were
understand.
trying our best, and we had the kids with us. So, like, the kids are running amok all over this place, and we've got our hands full with the, wet dog and kids running around and trying to keep them behaved, and she won't shut up with the unsolicited advice.
That's fucking wild.
Well, you know what you got to do when you're washing the dog is you got to use the brush. Like, oh, there's this brush here that's in my hand that I'm using to brush the dog. I should use that to brush the dog. That's a great idea. Thank God you're here to tell me these things.
And like, it's so, because if you like turned around and you were like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I am just going to need you to shut the fuck up. You're wrong.
Then I'm the asshole. Exactly.
Somehow
then
you're
I'm
the bad guy there.
I've got a wet dog and 2 kids, a wife that got about 2 hours of sleep the night before.
Yeah.
I didn't come here to chit chat or for advice on my dog. Then she starts telling me about Smithville. She starts telling me about like the places to go in Smithville, and I was like,
the place where you've lived most of your life.
I was like, yeah, I grew up here. Okay, I lived here before this building existed. Okay,
I built Smithville. You don't know me. I could be a construction worker.
She was all like, yeah, that place over there used to be a liquor store. I was like, yeah, and before that it was a CVS, and before that it was a fucking forest.
Don't tell me.
I know. I rode my bike through it. Please don't try to explain Smithville to me, lady.
Oh man, what's the place in Smithville? This is not pertinent information for anybody that doesn't live in South Jersey. What's the fucking pizza place in Smithville that's in like the little towny area that has the fucking buffalo tails? Those things are so goddamn good.
Costello's.
Oh my God, those buffalo tails. I fucking have dreams about those. I haven't had them since I like left college.
Yeah, they're still there. They're still famous for those buffalo tails things.
Jesus, it's like, because it's a buffalo sauce, and you don't like spicy shit because you hate.
I like
fun.
spicy shit.
Do you? All right.
No, Karen hates spicy shit. I don't like buffalo for some reason. I don't hate it, but for some reason that doesn't like. It doesn't really connect with me. But I dig spice, not like crazy spice, not like holy shit, I'm gonna bleed.
Not Carolina Reaper, ghost pepper level.
Yeah, no,
stuff.
None of that.
Not the kind of like we're dumb frat boys for trying these kind of things.
Yeah, no, I just like to, dump some Cholula sauce on my tacos, that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't think that counts, but that's all right. No, I'm just kidding. That's fine. If that's what you go with, sir, that's, I'm being a spice dick. No, cause like it's got like the buffalo-ness to it, but there's a sweetness to it as well. In that fucking Costello's buffalo sauce, it's unlike anything else I've ever had.
It's pretty, even as not a fan of the general flavor profile. I've had them and they're pretty tasty.
They're so good with the blue cheese, the whole fucking thing. Get nice hunk of mold in your mouth. It's big old moldy piece of cheese in your mouth and some buffalo tails. It's a good night, man. Oh, yeah, it's good times. I would like I've seriously I've been sitting around like thinking, man, I might just drive down to Smithville. I don't even know the name of the place, but like I know where it is in the little village area. Like I could find it again.
Yeah, if you go to Village Green, it's right next to the ice cream shop, like on that corner. You go to the little pier and you're good to go.
So good.
So I know,
anyway,
like, I have to talk about the thing that our listeners are actually here for. I did some landscaping work.
You did?
I did some landscaping work over the weekend. It was a project that I'd been putting off. It was a project that I thought was just going to sit there for years.
Right.
And I'm on this kick of just doing shit around the house. I made a list of monthly chores and a list of weekly chores.
You made yourself a honey-do list? You're not supposed to do that, Kris. You're making the rest of us look bad. The rest of us who don't want to do shit.
So I made myself these checklists, and I'd say, all right, every day you have to do one monthly thing and one daily thing. That's it. And like, I made them all relatively small projects. And so I'm getting all kinds of shit done around the house, which feels good. And I'm not like stressing about it. It's just all kind of getting done. But one of these big projects was was it earlier this year? Yeah, it was earlier this year when I laid down the mulch and shit in the front yard, and I did the rocks, and I had the whole experience trying to find a place with rocks. So I laid that out, and it was nice, but one thing bothered me in particular was the placement of all the bushes that were there, which, I mean, I was like, all right, I'll fix this someday. But as I got it nice and neat looking, I was like, all right, now this bothers me even more because
I hate this so much more.
I don't understand why these were planted this way. It was like, I'm bad with names. There two of these, like one kind of bush, and then hydrangeas.
Two of these, one kind of bush.
So it's like two of these, and then a hydrangea, and then another bush, and then a hydrangea, and then a bush, and then nothing. So it's like, and they weren't in a line either. They're like really jagged, and I don't understand why. Now, the second hydrangea bush actually wasn't originally there. That was just a big stupid gap in between these things. And there was a set of them growing underneath our fence. So I dug them up and I moved them over there, and like a year later they came back amazing, like just super full. Now that one's actually the biggest of the three. It was the one that I saved from underneath our fence, which is kind of weird, but whatever, I'll take it.
Sure.
So I'd been looking at it like, all right, you just got to take the one off that end, put it on the other end, and then move all the rest of them just like a foot or two in either direction to get them from like, there was a natural divide where it looked like rocks should be laid to mark off where the bushes were, and then there's our sidewalk. But like the hydrangea bushes in particular were growing out so much that, and I don't know if they just never grew this big because they weren't taking care of them before, but they're growing over the sidewalk. And it's like, well, if they were centered, that wouldn't be a problem. Like, even at their full size, they're not going to grow over the sidewalk that I need to walk on. So I took everything. The other problem was after I laid all the mulch down, like within a week, all the weeds just grew right back. Yeah. So basically, almost undoing all of what I had done. It was like I tried to keep up on it, but it was impossible. They were just everywhere. Yeah. So I went out and I got that weed liner stuff, and I dug up all the bushes. I laid them out like where I wanted to put them, and then I dug new holes and replanted everything, and said a prayer to make sure that they didn't all die. It's like, I really hope I'm not killing every one of these things because I really like all these plants and I don't want them to die. But I think I did it right. I didn't cut too many roots off of them as I was digging them out of these holes. I had to go buy a new shovel too, because I dug up another bush in my backyard that was like, well, this thing's, I'm just done with this thing.
I hate this bush.
What the hell was it? It's a forsythia, maybe? Those
Okay.
yellowy ones that are like super polleny.
Yeah.
It's like, I tried to keep it. I really did. But like, I cut it down so much at the beginning of the year, and then within 2 weeks it was over the fence again. Like, that thing grows like crazy, and I said, I'm done with this. I'm not gonna keep up on this random bush in the middle of the yard. Fuck it, I'm getting rid of it. So I dug the whole thing up, but I broke my shovel in the process, and unlike in Animal Crossing, I can't just craft a new one with some shit I have laying around. So I went out and bought a new shovel. I redug all these holes, and I started putting down the liner, which was like, I don't know what the best way to do this is, because I wanted to lay it down first and then like cut the holes in it and then plant the plants in there. But that didn't seem like, I felt like that was a weird way of going at it. But now in retrospect, I think maybe that would have been a better way to do it. I followed the instructions on it that said just lay it down and then cut an X and then slide it over the plant and then reshape underneath.
Right.
And that kind of worked. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of weeds still poking up through all the holes I cut in this thing.
Yeah, you got to just put cardboard down.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do to patch wherever I see weeds come up at this point.
Yeah, you put the cardboard down, and cardboard's biodegradable, right? So it'll just sit under there, but it will kill that shit. And then, like if you've got like grasses and whatever underneath of there already, and then you can just fucking like redo it as you need to, kind of thing. Put some more cardboard down, and then drop a bunch of some new mulch over top of it, and you're good to go.
Yeah, cardboard is going to be my plan so like the stuff I got's supposed to last like forever, and it's breathable, so like water goes through it and everything. And I figure the general idea from this point is to use cardboard as like a maintenance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I laid this down, and I was very proud of myself for not doing it the stupid way, and I put the rocks on the edge of the fabric, whatever the hell that stuff is called, the landscape fabric. Yeah. Because like one of the other problems was like I laid down all the rocks, like that's great, and then like within a week, grass was growing up underneath the rocks. It's like, oh no. Yeah. And like, how do I get in there and really clean that stuff out? But I laid it on top of the fabric stuff, and now that's not going to be a problem.
That's right.
Feeling like $1 million.
Except life finds a way.
It came out looking great, and then I got some flowers, and Karen bought a fall wreath because she was so sad when we took down all the Halloween decorations. She's like, well, everything looks so plain now, and I'm like, I like the way our house looks, but whatever. Let's go ahead and get some fall decorations.
You don't decorate for Thanksgiving the way you do for Halloween and Christmas. Like,
that is true.
I feel like we should. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, like, I'm not getting giant blow up turkeys to put in the front yard.
I mean, I feel like we should, though. Like, Thanksgiving gets so shit on because it's just not as much fun to decorate for.
Well, we did get, she went to Michael's, and I was like, all right, fine, we'll do this then. We'll do some decorating. We'll keep all the pumpkins that we didn't carve and use those, and we can pick up some flowers. I bought some of them decorative cabbages.
Oh, I love a decorative cabbage.
They're gorgeous. They got the purple on the inside. They're so pretty. Yeah.
Good looking
I bought
stuff.
A couple of those and some, what are those? Some mums, some small mums to put on our little porch. And she went out to Michael's, and a week before Halloween, all the Thanksgiving stuff was already on clearance because they're ready for Christmas. So she bought a whole bunch of indoor and outdoor Thanksgiving decorations and stuff. We got a nice fall wreath for our door. It's looking very festive around here, and we're hosting Thanksgiving since we don't have a functioning bathroom upstairs. But my sister-in-law doesn't have like a function. She doesn't have a kitchen, so
We don't have a functioning bathroom upstairs, so the family's just going to go shit in the yard. It's gonna be awesome. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Nobody's coming here to shower. They can still use the bathroom, although fingers crossed the actual project will be well underway by that point, but I don't know.
How dare you put that out into the universe?
Yeah, right.
You're fucking living dangerously, man.
All I got is there's one step left. There's one step. All I got to do is sign.
That's a pretty big step.
That's it. But the only thing that's preventing us is getting someone to be there to sign with us. Like a representative from the bank needs to be there to sign with us. And the dude said he was going to call me every day with updates, and I did not receive a phone call today. I'm going to give that man shit tomorrow.
You bet you fucking call that dude every day.
I want this done. But anyway, that's my landscaping story. It was fun. It was exciting. I got a new shovel. Ellie helped. I spread mulch all over the place, and it's looking fine. The plants don't seem to be dying yet. So I'm watering them every day. Hoping
that's
for the
outstanding.
Best. Was outstanding.
That is outstanding. Like it's one of those weird things where like I really do have to go mow the lawn. Like I haven't right now. Good night. I haven't mowed the lawn in a little bit longer than I should have, because every opportunity that I get to mow the lawn, it's like, oh well, we're just gonna rain today. Motherfucker.
Yeah, don't you love that?
Oh my god, and nobody else at my house, because they're a bunch of lazy, good for nothing fucks. Nobody else at the house will mow the lawn. Like that is my job, right? It's an outside job, and I tried to teach the kids how to do it, and I know that they were doing it poorly on purpose so that they wouldn't have to do it again. But boy, did they do it poorly. So all right, you fuckers win this round. I'm going to find some other shit for you to do. This looks terrible. But like, oh man, it's a weird thing to like really, because you're right, like there's just that certain level of pride where you're like, fuck yeah, look at this shit I did.
Yeah, like dope. We're going to have people over for Thanksgiving. I want it to look nice. Yeah. I'm hoping to get the basement finished painting the basement. That's how sentence structure works.
It is actually.
Finish painting the basement before Thanksgiving too. I really want to try to get to it by the end of this week,
Mr. Editor.
I also really want to change the lighting down here. Like everything's the lights are a very yellowish light, and I would like to change it to more natural light, which would probably help with my video shooting as well.
Oh, sure,
good times. But speaking of Thanksgiving, since we're hosting, we're pretty sure that my sister-in-law is bringing their gigantic dog.
Oh, that's exciting.
They have... we stayed over there recently, and it's a puppy. It's a Bernese Mountain Dog puppy that's, like, constant.
Yeah,
and they have this gigantic barn that they live in, so the dog is always moving, but there's always somewhere for it to move.
Right.
That's not my house.
No, I've
dog
been to your house.
Will jump on every counter to eat every bit of food that is left anywhere unattended for even a split second, or even stuff that's not unattended. And just jump up on a table and eat whatever food is sitting on your plate in front of you or in your hand that you're trying to eat.
Is fucking unacceptable. Don't be that kind of dog person either. Don't be the fucking nudgy one, and don't be the one that doesn't train your god. I have a Bernese Mountain Dog puppy right now. Yogi doesn't do that shit. Yogi would not still fucking be here if he did that shit.
Ozzy was kicked out of dog training school.
Wow.
Because like they were not having any luck doing it themselves, so they went to a place, and he was there for a couple of weeks, and then they refused to do it anymore. They're like, nope, get this thing out of here. So I think they're bringing that into my house, and I don't know what to do with it, because like Ozzy's just everywhere. It does not stop moving from the moment he wakes up in the morning. Does not stop moving, like just running and licking and biting and playing and running, and it is constant. Like Naga was not having that shit at all. Like we brought Naga, and she was just like, get this dog away from me. Usually she's okay with, she's a very tolerant dog. She wanted nothing to do with this dog. Like at all. Just get this shit away from me. So, like, my mom definitely can't bring Fiona over because Fiona would have a heart attack and explode.
Right.
Just being
or get
near,
hurt.
Yeah, she'll just get hurt. Yeah. And like, I can't let this dog in the basement. I don't know what to do about the living room. He's just going to find shit and eat it because that's what the dog does. He'll just find things and eat them. Like, happens all the time in their house. Just, well, I found this half-eaten toy in the yard because like he'll just walk somewhere, find a thing, take it and eat it and then get rid of it. Like, I need to like physically change the way my house exists to accommodate this dog. Now, there's the theoretical prospect that the dog would be left outside. And I just hope that the weather is, amenable to that.
I just tell her not to bring the fucking dog.
Yeah.
Not like it's your house.
No, I get that, but like, I don't know that we can do that.
I mean, no, you 100% can. You hundo P can fucking tell that motherfucker not to bring that shit in your house.
But the problem then becomes, oh, my dog's not welcome in your house? Well, then I'm not coming either.
Not when it fucking acts like that. And just tell her, be like, if you fucking ate the kids' toys and ran around the house and broke shit and took food off of my plate that wasn't yours, you wouldn't be welcome in the house either. Rebecca, whatever the fuck her name is.
Well, I don't think that'll pan out the way that we want it to. It's what that sounds like is, if I'm thinking 2 steps ahead, that sounds like a long-term family argument that I don't think I want to create.
I mean,
so we're going to figure out how to handle the dog.
Do you want me to tell her?
No.
I mean, that probably would work out way worse. But I will. I love you guys. I don't know her.
Fair enough.
So I don't care. It's basically how that. Man, that's wild.
Yeah, he's a lot of fucking dog, man.
They tried to pull that. So we're hosting Thanksgiving as well. And my aunts tried to pull that too, because they're like, have you had a hard time figuring out when you're supposed to like step up and be like, all right, so I'm in charge now. Like, you guys were in charge when we were kids, like, because you were the adults, but now you're old, shut up.
No, but I don't really deal with my extended family all that much, so.
Okay. All right, because like I've had a hard time figuring out when I'm supposed to step up and be like, nope, everybody shut up. This is what we're doing. And it was this week. This week was when that happened, because we're trying to make plans for Thanksgiving and like having these discussions, and they're like, well, we can come to your house and we can do like the appetizers and the meal. And then, we can, like, you guys can put your dogs away, and then we'll go to my other aunt's house for, like, dessert, and that'll be great. And then, like, they started making all these... I was like, nope, shut up. We're not doing that. We're not having Thanksgiving in 2 or 3 different places.
That sounds fucking insane.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, but that was the plan up until I stood up and went, no, we're having it at my house. That's why we bought the goddamn house. We bought the house for 2 reasons. 1, so we could host fucking holidays, and you're lucky I haven't taken Christmas yet. 2, so that we could have the big fucking dogs. You come to my... Shut up. We're not doing that. Like,
yeah, that was we had a slightly similar situation where we were like, all right, so we want to host Thanksgiving, but we also know that it wasn't really our turn. Like, we tend to do it on a schedule, like, we trade back and forth with the different holidays so that everybody gets a chance to do what they're going to do. But they don't have a kitchen, but we also know that they're fucking nuts. It's one of the reasons we love them. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a respectable kind of nuts for the most part, but like
but it's still fucking nuts.
And we were like, man, I hope they don't try to like take Thanksgiving because I don't want to do that. And then we brought it up, and she was just like, no, you're hosting Thanksgiving. We don't have a fucking kitchen. Like, we know that. We just didn't want to, assume.
Oh, thank God.
But thank God. So that worked out.
That's good. Yeah, it was a very interesting conversation. Finally getting to the point of being like, all right, you bitches are old. Shut up.
Yeah, we don't really have much of that going on. Like, we did just talk to our big family Christmas Eve. We're going to do it this year because we didn't do it last year because COVID and whatnot. But this year, everybody's vaccinated, and now that the kids are going to be able to be vaccinated, we're like, all right, there we go. Now that the kids, we're all getting the kids vaccinated, except for my one cousin Ryan, because the kids aren't old enough. He has like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old and a newborn.
Right. But, so that's okay.
Yeah, so that's fine. But all the rest of the kids are going to be vaccinated. And we're all vaccinated. So we're like, all right, let's do it. Let's have the big Christmas Eve again this year. But like years ago, the older people, like my aunts and uncles, were just like, fuck it, it's your problem now, kids. Entertain us.
See, man, like, that's what I want, because
that's what we want to do. I was so happy about that. Like, I'm cooking the meal. Like, I'm in charge of cooking. I was like, I want to cook, I want to do the sauce and the meatballs and everything for everybody. And like, fine, do it. Have fun. Live the dream. It's like, all right, cool.
That's awesome. Because, like, we have that conversation frequently as well, where it's like, all right, you guys are fucking old and barren. Why the fuck am I going to your house? I'm the one with the kids. You fuckers come here.
Yeah, we all go out to my cousin Danielle's house for Christmas Eve because, I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere and it's a haul for literally all of us. But the house is gigantic.
Yeah,
and the reason it was like a family house. And they were able to afford it in the first place because it's in the middle of absolutely fucking nowhere.
Right.
Like, it's a drive to everywhere you could ever possibly want to be. But the house is just massive. So all the kids can fit in it. And all of us fit in this house. So we all go there for Christmas Eve, no matter what. And it works out for everybody.
It's the fucking McAllister house, man.
Yeah, but it's not like one of those weird McMansions. It's just like, it's like this, I don't know how to describe this place. It's so weird. It's just like, you keep walking and then there's more house. And like, it's
a fucking TARDIS.
Yeah. Like, you think like, okay, well, this was the living room and this was the dining room. And then this was the, I don't know, extra room. But then you keep walking and there's a whole other area back there with more shit in there.
And now there's an elevator.
The upstairs and the basement and the other bedrooms on the side and shit. It's like, There's kids everywhere, but you're not tripping over them because there's more room than there is kids, which is insane.
That's awesome.
Good times. I'm so excited about the holidays this year. I'm excited about Thanksgiving. I'm going to take a swing at gravy. That's the one thing that nobody in this family has really been able to properly do is gravy.
Like,
my mom was never able to nail it.
Are you saying like Italian gravy or like white people gravy?
No, like white people gravy.
Okay.
I mean, fuck it. I got 2 Z's in my last name. My grandfather used to call it sauce, and he was from fucking Sicily. Spaghetti sauce is spaghetti sauce. But
that's the way I've always felt about it. But, I'm not Italian, so I don't get to, like, make those claims on things.
I mean, I've never nobody in my family's ever called it gravy, except for jokingly. Like, I mean, it's the sauce, but
right.
I mean, like the gravy that goes with the turkey, like that's the stuff. My grandmother was never able to do it. My mom was never able to do it. Like we always tried, but it was always be like, well, that doesn't taste good. That didn't work. Karen has made some very tasty gravy, but it's like it's kind of purplish because it's got a lot of wine. It's like a wine based gravy, and it's really thin, and it's like. That's good, but it's not what I'm after. Like, I'm after that thick, like, bullshit gravy. Like, the shit that goes on the sandwiches you get at Wawa. Like, I'm after some thick-ass brown gravy. So I'm going to take a swing at it this year. Although this year I am giving up on my... Can you believe... How long have we been recording right now? We're like over 45 minutes and we haven't talked about a goddamn video game once.
Nope, not yet. Not
I
yet.
would always do.
They said it couldn't be done.
I figure we'll take the break and then we'll catch up on video games. But so for the last couple of years, Karen makes amazing stuffing. She has this like apple bacon stuffing that she makes that's just so goddamn good. But I've always also made a bag of like the cheap ass bullshit stuffing that I grew up with, just for nostalgia's sake.
I fucking love stovetop.
Yeah, I love stovetop too.
I love
this
it.
Is like the Pepperidge Farm thick cube stuff. Like that.
Yeah, whatever.
I love that shit. But last year I was like, you know what? I think I'm over this now. Like, because she always makes a metric ton of stuffing, and then there's like my stuffing's left over because I'm the only one who touches it, and there's all her stuffing that's left over. And when I'm having leftovers, I'm like, man, this stuff is nostalgic, but it's nowhere near as good as your stuffing. And I think I'm done. I don't think I need to do this anymore. I think if I need this stuffing at another point in the year, I can just go out and buy a bag of... I'm a fucking adult. I can go out and buy a bag of stuffing. You can have
stuffing whenever you want.
Whatever the fuck I want. So yeah, that's probably what I'll... But I'm giving up on that this year, but I am going to take a swing at the gravy. I'm in charge of mashed potatoes, gravy, and making the dinner rolls.
That's exciting.
I'm excited, Syphil. I'm excited.
I am in charge of none of that. Absolutely zero of those things will I be in charge of. I will be in charge of dogs and running to the store for the shit that Tiff forgot 6 or 7 times. Oh, god damn it, bouillon. Like, all right, fuck. What kind? All the bouillon.
What do you mean, what kind? Go to the aisle, one of everything.
One of all of it. Do you want the stuff that's better than bouillon? I don't give a shit. Just get it.
What is better than bouillon?
It's a brand of bouillon called Better Than Bouillon.
Are you shitting me? There's a brand of bouillon called Better Than Bouillon? Is that like I can't believe it's not butter?
I think so. I don't fucking know. Tastes good.
Does it taste better than bouillon?
I don't know if it does. Never had just bouillon, so...
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to.
No? Because I eat this shit by the jar. So
I don't think you're supposed to just like grab a bouillon cube and start licking. It's not.
No, I do like a sugar cube. I'm like a fucking horse with a salt lick. It's got a big
that
bouillon
shit in my
lick.
Tea. It's awesome.
Right. I have my Earl Grey hibiscus tea, fucking bouillon cube in it.
Like my tea tastes like meat.
Like meat and flowers. It's fucking great. It's real earthy, you know. Fucking.
At a certain point, you just graduate to drinking broth. Is it tea time? No, I'm just going to pour a glass.
Just a glass of broth.
I got a nice glass of Swanson broth going.
Fucking living fancy, man. I'm doing the bone broth now. It's like craft beer. Fucking
start mixing your... I got some bone broth with a dash of beef broth.
Dash of beef broth. I got a fucking bisque chaser. It's great.
And then you're one step away from drinking gravy, and
that's right. It's all coming full circle. It's all coming full circle. See, and this is exactly why I'm not in charge of any of that part of the fucking holidays. Because all of this sounds like a good idea, if not a great idea to me. I don't see what is so funny about any of this.
And you go for the Thanksgiving leftovers, and your plate is just a bowl of gravy.
That's right. I just have a bowl. I can have all those little sauce cups at fucking hibachi restaurants. It's like to sample them all, you know.
Just don't heat it up. It's easier to eat.
Oh yeah, no, good. Like I like when the skin's on it.
Consistency of Jello.
Yeah, but rancid Jello.
Meat Jello. Mm.
It's the consistency of like a 72-year-old woman's underarms. You know that fucking swingy shit. When it's like, ma'am, why are you wearing a tank top? I don't wear a tank top in public. Why are you?
Because she's far past the point of giving a fuck, as you should be.
I don't think she should be at that point. I think that's one of the problems with society today, Chris. It's not the kids today. It's these old whores. That's the fucking problem. Damn it. That's exactly how I talk to them, too. Excuse me. Old prostitute, come here. Your fucking saggy arm skin is making me have a physical reaction. Please stop it.
All right, we should take ourselves a break. When we come back, I have a shitload of video games to talk about. I don't know if Dan's. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know where I am anymore.
I got nothing. But we're gonna take a break. We're gonna read commercials, and then we're gonna see what the fuck happens.
Because this was 52 minutes
for
that I've been recording.
For some reason, you're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. And if you've come this far, you may as well stick around.
You might as well.
And now, here's a quick look at some of the other original content available now from our partners and Geekade.com.
So I got a question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Have your neighbors, have they been eaten by zombies?
Maybe. I haven't seen them in a while, but
it's weird.
I don't pay attention to them.
It's weird. You may want to steer clear of this particular podcast episode then, because it might bring up some bad memories. But if you don't like your neighbors, or if your neighbors haven't been eaten by zombies, if you're glad that they have been eaten by zombies, if you like zombies, just the latest episode of the SNES podcast is for you. They made it specifically. Yes, for you. You're sitting there in the car right now like, me? Yes, you. This week, Greg and Joe look back at the LucasArts classic Zombies Ate My Neighbors and discuss why it is, in fact, such a cult classic. Don't miss the SNES podcast episode 175. That's a fucking landmark episode. Good for you, boys. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Next, you've heard of Turquoise Friday.
It's fucking everywhere.
But have you heard of Magenta Friday? Of course you have. Who hasn't? But if what you're looking for is something a bit brighter in your sales, well, Stone Age Gamers got you covered. From now through Sunday, November 14th, we're hosting our Magenta Friday sale in celebration of this totally real holiday that everyone actually knows about.
Mm-hmm.
Totally real.
Totally real. Super real.
Save big dollars.
Big money.
Big money on
No
Artovision.
whammy stop.
That's right. And we got Artovision stuff. We got FRAM installation services for Sega Saturn. We got Bitbox game cases, Eon adapters, and a whole heck of a lot more. All on sale as part of our Magenta Friday sale. Head on over to StoneAgeGamer.com or follow the link in the show notes to learn more about Magenta Friday, which is totally real.
And Bitboxes. I might actually pick up some Bitboxes.
They're so
for
nice.
now. Because, like, every now and again, like, I catch myself. Like, I will open a beer, because my photo box, because I'm that guy, my photo box is above the one lonely video game memorabilia shelf that I have here in the Jose Canseco Executive Annex. And out on the video game shelf is a non-boxed copy of Mega Man's 1 through 6. Mega Men 1 through 6?
Mega Mans.
Sure. Mega Mans! And, like, I came down here the other day, and I just... Because I'm an asshole, there was, like, 4 or 5 empty beer cans just, like, on top of the Mega Man games. Like, I thought to myself... Martha, that's what I call myself. Martha, what are you doing with your life? What's fucking wrong with you? You've got these games that people would, like, freak out for, and you're just putting empty beer cans on them. They're just coasters for you.
Yeah, you need some bit boxes. It's 1 through 6, you said?
Yes, Mega Man's 1 through 6. That is
All right.
that is a thing that I need at some
Duly
point.
noted.
All right. Finally, Chris.
Finally. Finally.
God. Brock. Oh, Jesus. Are you in the market, just out of curiosity, for 20 minutes of webcam audio that's been cleaned up to use as a podcast?
Yes.
I mean, we need a couple extra minutes for this here episode, I think. Well, it's a good thing, because the Weekend Rental crew has delivered! Join the guys as they discuss the Nintendo Switch Online and Metroid, two topics that have proven to be a bit on the divisive side. Do they enjoy these things? Do they hate these things? Are they lukewarm? I mean, probably not, because you wrote divisive, so I would imagine it's either a love it or hate it kind of thing. Anyway, there's really only one way for myself and all of you to find out. Don't forget to stick around for the Super Smash Music Quiz. Don't miss all the excitement in Weekend Rental episode 111. The Gamers Pay More for 64. It's a good title.
That rhymed.
That's a good title.
They do solid work on their titles.
They really do.
For all this great content and more from us and our partners, be sure to keep your eyes on geekade.com. All right, we are back, and now we're going to talk about video games. Dan?
No, you start. I don't even know if I've been playing anything. I can't even remember.
All right. Well, let's see. I'm going to save the Animal Crossing talk for a minute, because I have a lot of thoughts on it.
That's really what I want to hear about.
Okay. Then
Honestly.
I'll hold off on that until I get past this other stuff.
All right, I will stop
you don't
listening
care about
until
it.
you
Just-
start talking about
Go
that.
ahead and zone out for a little bit.
Yep, done. What?
So Mario
Who?
Party.
Oh, God. And you starting with Mario Party? Fuck you. I feel like that shit was intentionally hurtful.
Let's see. So Mario Party Superstars has been a big hit in the house. It is, what I like about this is that, and I don't know if you could have done this in other Mario Party games, because I am not a Mario Party connoisseur.
As
but
it were.
It is very much, a streamlined version of like old Mario Party games. And what we've been able to do is when we start the game, you can give one player a handicap. So we're like, all right, Ellie starts with a star. So for the first chunk of the game, she's in first place, like the whole time, no matter what, because she has a star. In fact, when we finished our first game, because we're not only in our second game, because you can set it to have a buttload of turns and just play a couple of turns and then turn it off. And then, save your progress, come back to it later, which is wonderful. So we finished one game, and Ellie came in second overall. Even though she was just awful at the minigames because they gave her stars for being the one who lost the most minigames. It's like, all right, cool, this is great. Like, it's working. And I'm so glad it is. And I'm glad I didn't buy Super Mario Party because I don't think that would have worked for us the same way. Like, this one in particular is just... it's doing everything it needs to do right to be a fun, occasional thing for us to do during family time after dinner, which is wonderful.
That's awesome.
My big gripe, well, actually,
is that
two
it's
big
still
gripes.
Mario Party.
It's still Mario Party. Now, there's the board that I love in the original Mario Party, and not even like because I think it's a great board. It's just like it has the best song, and it's the one that I played when like I played Mario Party for the first time at a friend's house a long, long time ago. I was like, okay, I can see how this could be considered fun. And that's the one board from like the original Mario Party that's not in the game. So I'm crossing my fingers that it shows up as DLC, but I don't even know which one it is. Like it's the castle stage where Toad's up on the tower and the like rotates and Bowser's on the other side and he fucks with your day. So yeah, Mario Party Superstars has turned out to actually be a very valid investment. I feel very happy with my purchase. Huzzah.
Well, that's really good. I am happy that you are happy with your wash.
Happy with my wash?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a fucking survey at the grocery store. Happy with your wash? It's a thing.
Huh. Anyway,
I like to take down the frivolity with a little moment of, is it really? Okay. I feel I've done so.
Let's see. I jumped. All right. So Horizon Chase Turbo had that new Senna DLC based on that dude, and I was really loving that. Like, really loving it. And then, like, on a whim, I was just looking at the menu, like, all right, because I know I have the tournament modes to finish. So I had to finish off the normal and expert modes in tournament to get the last 2 cars in the base game. That was all I had left to do in the base game. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to take a break from this Senna thing. I really want to polish this off. So I finished the normal mode, got my car. It's like, all right, now I just have to get through like 16 more tournaments because there's so much goddamn content in this game. But I have to get through a lot of expert mode tournaments and finish in first place in all of them, and then I unlocked the last car. That's wonderful. And then I was just poking around the menu, and I was like, shit, I only did half of this DLC, which was
oh my goodness.
Well, they released the rookie mode, and then I remembered, like, oh, right. As soon as I went in there, realized I only did half. I was like, right, because this is rookie mode, and there's, like, absolutely nothing to this. Like, I'm pretty good at this game at this point, so playing this rookie mode thing is, like, it's almost a chore, but like that was when it first came out. Now I'll do like a tournament and then I'll go into rookie mode and just knock out a couple of courses, and because you just don't even have to try. It's actually quite relaxing.
It's just fun.
Like, you start the race and then within, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, you're in first place, and then nobody bothers you for the rest of the race. You don't have to collect coins. You don't have to worry about fuel because it's rookie mode. It's just driving. Okay. This is a pretty game. It's got good music. Let me go. And that's been fun. But then I checked out the other DLC, the Summer Vibes DLC that came out a while ago. I was like, shit, I never finished this either. How did that happen? I could have sworn I finished this, but I only got halfway through it. I guess I unlocked the car, and then I went back to the original stuff thinking that I would come back to it later. So now I'm not letting myself play the Senna stuff until I finish all the other DLC that I never finished.
That's right.
I have put an insane amount of time into this game. And it really struck me recently how I really dropped the ball on not buying this game physically when it was released. And it was like, well, I already bought it digitally. I feel like it would be a waste of money for me to buy this physically. But then I'm thinking long term, like, I love this game to death. And like,
when they shut the servers down, what do I do?
I mean, it's not going to really matter. I have the game on my system, but if I'm never able to re-download it for some strange reason, I'm sure it'll wind up accessible through other means in the future. But still, it's like a respect thing. Like, it's like buying an album on vinyl. Like,
right.
I respect this thing so much as an important part of what makes the Switch special to me. I feel like I should have it physically. I was thinking, like, yeah, this and fucking Sayonara Wild Hearts, Katamari Reroll, like, these games I should have physically. I just should. But I missed half of them because they're these indie games that have been re-released physically through like limited run and whatnot. Now they go for a bunch, like, was it that and Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap are like a bunch of money online. Like, well, I'm not paying that because I own the game already. I have the game. I've put dozens of hours into it. It's like I would be buying it like I'm buying these Blaster Master Zero games to just like sit on my shelf and say I have this physical thing. Like, it's a waste of money, honestly. But
sure.
At the same time, like, I respect this game so goddamn much. Like, I really wish I had bought this physically, but it didn't come out physically until I already had the game for ages. So
I wonder and I hope that we eventually get to a point, because like I can't imagine, and this is me completely talking out of my ass, but I'm a white male. That's what we do. I can't imagine it is that big of a deal for somebody to be like, hey, limited run games, you guys put out this game, and I didn't buy it when it was originally on sale, but I would like to buy it now. Could you please just print it up for me and fucking send it to me like it's a cart? Like, I can't imagine that's all demand. Is that all that difficult?
I think it is. I think it is for Switch games because of the cartridges, like the proprietary format. I would bet that other stuff like PS4 or whatever, that would be a viable thing theoretically, but I know Switch games are like, That's kind of a pain in the balls.
But like, would you be okay with just having the box and stuff?
I guess.
Because like that also surprises me. Like knowing the collector world that we have, right? And I know collectors are fucking crazy about this shit, but with the advent of digital gaming being a thing, like, let me just buy a fucking, like, just make a box and a case for it.
And like, they do that with some games, right? Like, you go to buy the physical game and it's just a code in a box. Like, that happens sometimes. People get pissed about it.
So like, but if you know that going into it, if you're like, I have all of these games and I would just like to buy the fucking case for it, like, you can print that on demand, no problem.
Yeah. It would be something. It would be better than nothing.
That's a fucking untapped market, Kris. That's what we should do. For real. Like, we should open up a business that is just like an on-demand fucking box printing place. It's a fucking $1 million idea. It's maybe not $1 million idea.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of places that do repro boxes right now. I mean, I guess they don't do it for new games, or maybe they do. I haven't really looked into it, but
yeah,
But speaking of limited run, my copy of Blaster Master 03 came in the mail today, a day early.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. It's a really nice little thing. I didn't go for, just like with 1 and 2, I didn't go for the crazy collector's editions because, 1, they wouldn't match everything else on my shelf.
Right, which is important.
2, I don't have that kind of space. Like, they're just these big ass boxes with a whole bunch of things in them, and as huge of a Blaster Master fan as I am, which is a massive one, it's just I looked at the price, I looked at the games that I had already bought, and then I'd be buying them again to have them physically, and it's like, I gotta draw a line somewhere. And honestly, the crazy special editions, I would rather just have the regular editions. That's what I want. I want it to match all the rest of my games. I just want a case, the official art, nothing weird about it, just because a lot of the special edition, there was a special edition that had like unique box art that looked kind of like Blaster Master 1's box art. It's like, that's a neat trick, but it's not the actual official artwork for Blaster Master 0, which I really like. Like, I don't want this game to have more of the original one's personality. I want it to display its own personality. So, regardless, I picked if I had the money, I would have bought both. I would have bought the regular edition and the special edition, like I did with Metroid, because I am a whore. But I am a whore with limited funds, so I just got the regular editions, which were the ones I wanted more than any of the rest of them. And so now I have all they're all of them, all the Blaster Masters. They're all here. I took a little picture and posted it on Twitter because I'm going to make a video about my quote-unquote complete Blaster Master collection for the YouTube channel this week, because I have them all.
Why is it quote-unquote complete?
Well, because I don't have Blaster Master 0 Trilogy physical on PlayStation, which was also released, because it is the same artwork for literally identical games. So it is a flat out waste of money.
Right.
It's like, I did that for Bubsy because there's one of them and it's fucking stupid.
and it's funny.
And it's funny. I'm tickled by that. This would just be like, it was like when I was collecting the Metal Gear Solid games and they started releasing them on Xbox. I'm like, well, no. I don't need to spend another $60 so that I can have the same game on 2 different platforms when they're identical. Like when it was the old days and buying the Super Nintendo version and the Genesis version were very, very different experiences. That's not where we are anymore. So the Switch games was fine. Also, my Blaster Master Boy for Game Boy is in a reproduction box and I don't have a manual.
Okay.
And other than that, I think it is actually complete. Like, I have, complete 1, 2, Enemy Below, Blasting Again, and then the 0, 1, 2, and 3 for Switch, and the Overdrive, which is the only one that's not physical. That game does not physically exist anywhere, which is drives me crazy. That was the WiiWare game. Right. So it was exclusively for WiiWare, which is now closed, so you can't buy this game now if you try.
Right.
It's completely unavailable, but I have it on my Wii U, and there it is.
God, that's just so weird that like these games just kind of exist. I mean, they exist, like you can get it, but you can't physically purchase or legally, not physically, legally purchase it somewhere.
No way to legally purchase Blaster Master Overdrive, which is, you know, a mediocre game. But
but the fact is that you can't.
Exactly. There is no physical edition of it. And you hate that kind of stuff, right? Like I was writing a thing about the Rocket Knight games, and it was like, all right, Rocket Knight Adventures, Sparkster for Super NES, Sparkster for Genesis, which are two different games, which is weird.
It's like God of War and God of War, two different games. What?
It's like it's the same title, released around the same time. It's got the same music. They have the same box art. Totally different games. Like it's not like this weird, weird port. You know, different story, different levels. The music's the same, but it shows up in a different order. It's like, man, that was weird. But then there was that Rocket Knight game that showed up on PS3 and 360, which was, you know, fine, I guess.
No, it's not. That game really sucks.
Wasn't. It does kind of suck. It's like it's okay. I finally broke down and bought the whole thing because, you know, I'm nervous that the PlayStation 3 network is going to shut down and then it'll be gone forever, like Blaster Master Overdrive. So I broke down and spent the money for the whole thing. But like that's the thing; those games were never re-released, and Rocket Knight was never made physical. That there's so much. One of the things I love so much about Limited Run, even though these games that I was complaining about, like Horizon Chase Turbo, like I didn't get them, they exist. There are physical copies of Horizon Chase Turbo out there in the world. There's physical copies of like just about everything out there now. Like not just about everything. There's too many games for that to even be possible. Like people shard out Switch games every 15 minutes on the eShop, but most of them are just crappy mobile games that are just ported to Switch or whatever. But most games that would have any kind of following get some sort of physical edition from one of these companies that makes physical games. And I think that's kind of great. But there's this whole segment of history like WiiWare and Xbox Live Arcade and stuff before those companies existed that's in this weird hovering point of like there's just not a lot of physical games. Like there's stuff just missing from there, and unless they get ported to newer platforms and then get made physical, they're just kind of disappear into the ether. And that's like my problem with Blaster Master Overdrive right now, or the bigger sins, the Konami Rebirth games.
Yeah,
like Castlevania, Contra, and Gradius Rebirth on WiiWare are just on WiiWare, which is completely unavailable right now. The shop is closed. You couldn't go out there and buy those games if you wanted to, and it's a shame because they're great.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I mean, they didn't ask me. They really should have.
And they really should have.
Well, and like so I don't know if you saw this story today, but like talking about things that are going to be more difficult to exist. You cannot currently purchase Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3 or any of the collections that they are part of.
This is a fascinating story.
Because they have to they have to
renegotiate the deal for the stock footage that's in there.
Yeah, like that's really crazy.
That is
what crazy. If they don't?
At least that one I understand. Like, yeah, what if they don't? That
but like, what
suck.
If they don't?
That would really suck. But I'm sure if they wanted to, they could find a way to edit around that stuff.
Oh, sure.
Then you would
but
still.
They are Konami. So they just might not.
That is true. But I mean that's an interesting story. I like that story because it's like, well, who thought that was going to come up?
Yeah, like I wouldn't even think like that had to be licensed at some like that. That's a weird thing. But the fact that now puts like, I mean, big
they had
deal
that
games.
Conversation to begin with, which is hilarious. Like,
yeah.
No, I really want this old war footage in here during this 55-minute monologue about nanomachines. It's like, okay, well, we could just use some in-game footage. Like, we could maybe recreate it using the engine, or just show the people talking. And Kojima's like, fuck no, I want old war footage. Get it.
Get it. Do it now. You know who I am? Mitch Hedberg. No, you're not, sir. Hideo Kojima.
So yeah, my Blaster Master 03 is here. I'm still waiting on. I have 2 other pending orders from Limited Run Games.
What are you waiting on?
I'm waiting on the Monkey Island Ultimate box set thing that I spent way too much money on, and I don't care because it's all the Monkey Island games in a box.
Yeah,
that's still listed as Q4 2021. So I mean, we're running out of 2021 here, guys.
Yeah, there's
Fingers
not
crossed.
a lot of time left.
I really want that one to show up. And then the other thing this one just makes me sad is I got the double box set thing of the Ninja Gaiden soundtracks on vinyl.
Oh yeah.
Which is the original arcade Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3 on NES. And it just says TBD. It's listed as in production and TBD. And the other one I have is from Strictly Limited. That's the Turrican Anthology, or whatever it's called. I got both of those, and they were delayed.
Right.
Theoretically coming out by the end of the year, I think. I don't know. But I get why they delayed them, and it's going to be worth it in the end. It's just like, man, it's been a long time since I pre-ordered these things.
Yeah.
Like, it's been more than a year, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm
whole situation was weird. The whole Turrican thing, all that was...
Yeah, that was weird to begin with. We're like, no, we're going to release this, and this is just kind of like a bunch of it. But we're also going to release this one that's like complete. Both of these volumes. These are the ones you really want if you're going to big Turrican fan. Like, all right, I went for it. And they were like, all right, we're going to do all this cool shit in there. And one of the things was adding an in-game map, like Metroid style, because the games are big. And I was like, that sounds fantastic. Let's do it.
Yeah, do it up.
And then when they delayed the game earlier this year, they're like, so this is really hard. Integrating a functional in-game map to a game that never had it is, we publish physical games. It's a little outside of our purview, so
we don't actually know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, and so it's taken them a long time. Like, all right, it's going to be worth it, but I'm getting impatient over here. I want my fucking games. But anyway, so that's my limited stuff. Let's see. I'm still playing some. I'm a man of my word. I said that I would get the N64 online expansion if they put Dr. Mario 64 on there, and I absolutely did. And I am playing the fuck out of Dr. Mario 64. Karen and I are playing it against each other every couple of nights. I'm playing through the story mode just for funsies. It's the best version of Dr. Mario, and I'm so glad it's there. I haven't even touched anything else on the N64 expansion pack. It's just Dr. Mario. I keep looking at Sin and Punishment like, yeah, I heard the controls aren't great on there right now, so I'm just going to wait till they patch that shit, and I'm going to keep playing Dr. Mario. Or I've played like a couple level of Yoshi Story, and I was like, you know what, maybe this is the time where I'll look up a guide and try and do the game and get all the melons. Because that game's very charming.
Yeah.
But it was, I almost got all of them in the first list without a guide. I went through the first level. I was like, I'm going to try to do this melon thing. I've been meaning to do this for years. So I tried, and I couldn't find the last 2. They got to be around here somewhere. I have absolutely no fucking clue where they are. So, but that's a weird ass game too. You can only play 6 levels, and then you got to start over again. It's like, I don't understand why you did it this way. Just let me play all the levels. There's a lot of games.
I just want to play the game. I just want to play the game that I purchased.
Let me do World 1 and then move on to World 2. It's like, nah, you do one from World 1, then one from World 2, then one from World 3, and then when you start over again, you can pick different levels. Like, fuck you, I just want to do all of World 1. We play like a Mario game, you assholes.
God damn it, Nintendo being Nintendo. Fucking stop it. Yeah, I have not purchased the N64 expansion pack.
Or why the fuck would you?
The Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack, which is a fucking terrible name.
I think it's
because
hilarious.
God damn it!
Pack.
It is. We didn't talk about this when they first announced it. That is an absurd price. It's absurd.
It is absurd only because of what came before it. Like, what is it? $50 a year for the online service, Tetris 99, Pac-Man 99, all those Super Nintendo games, all those NES games, plus Genesis, N64. When you think about it as just a straight up value proposition of what is actually being offered, $50 a year, that's pretty reasonable. However, they already had most of this content for less than half the price.
Yeah.
Now you want to more than double the price for N64 and Genesis games?
No.
No. I mean,
No.
throwing in
no.
the Animal Crossing expansion, all right, you're starting to add a little bit of value here, but what if I don't want the Animal Crossing expansion? It's just N64 and Genesis games. That's all you're adding for more than double the price.
Yeah.
You're out of your goddamn minds.
Yeah.
Now, if they're going to start
absurd.
adding, if they would have said other future games DLC will be included in this. If you have this, then you don't have to pay for DLC for things going forward. Well, now you've changed the equation a little bit. That's
right.
Pretty cool. But as of right now, unless you're me, it's not. It's a pretty decent deal if you just look at it from the perspective of like, well, this is all the stuff you get at this price. That's a solid deal. Except that $20 a month, $20 a year plan still exists.
Right.
So you could just say, fuck the N64 games that I don't want to play, and I'll play my Genesis games in one of the other 150 ways that I can, and just be happy with this. Like, it's not even close to being as good a deal as the $20 deal. Like, not even vaguely.
It just isn't. It's really weird. And
it is.
Maybe they will give you other DLC within that bundle, because when you're talking about it in that sort of way, like, okay, that kind of changes it a little bit. But why would they do that?
What?
I mean, Nintendo being
DLC?
Nintendo, but why would you
they're
not charge people for DLC? Like, because I've already got your money. I already gave you the Animal Crossing one. So now when, Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, I'm going to charge you for the DLC because you could have buy it, and we're a company and we're trying to make money.
Well, the same reason that they want to try to get more people to sign up for the service. Same reason that Pac-Man 99 exists. Like, they don't sell that game. That's only for Nintendo Switch Online members. The same with that Super Mario 35, Tetris 99. They eventually sold separately, but you can't play it online unless you have the online service. Like, they're creating things just to get you to. That's similar to like Xbox with Game Pass. It's just like, we're going to make it so that you want to buy this service, so that you're consistently paying money instead of just buying a thing and then that's the only time we get money out of you.
But isn't Game Pass like $8 a month?
Oh, Game Pass is way more expensive than this. It's just...
Oh, I know, but you also are not getting 25-year-old games.
That is true. It's a way better... It's way more expensive, but it's a way better deal. But I mean, that's why they would add more DLC. Because you think about stuff like, well, when Splatoon 3 comes out with a major expansion, well, if you throw it into the online subscription, then you're sure that people are going to have Nintendo Switch Online to play your Splatoon online and get this extra stuff in there. Like, they want people on that subscription more than they want people to pay for that DLC, I think.
See, I don't know that I agree with that, just because Nintendo doesn't seem to want people to play online. Because they continue to make it fucking obtuse as hell.
I think you're looking at it from the wrong way. I think they want people to play online, and they're scratching their heads as to why they're not. It's like, come on,
this is great. What's wrong with all you people? We've done this perfectly.
Here's what I want you to do, Nintendo. I want you to go buy an Xbox, and then turn it on and see what happens. I just want you to play something online. Apparently Mario Party Online is great.
No.
And this is what I don't understand. And this is what I don't understand. Like, and I don't mean like as in it's a great experience. I mean like it is a physically great experience. Like the online works very well.
Sure.
And it's like, okay. Like, remember when the Switch first came out and they're like, all right, there's some online stuff. This Street Fighter game works phenomenal, but nothing else does.
Yeah.
That it goes so much on a game-by-game basis of what works and what doesn't is crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
They're clearly
not how
capable
that's supposed
of making
to be.
this shit work. Like, Mario Kart works very well online. You usually don't have giant stutters and drops and stuff. But Smash Brothers, a good 30% of the games I've played online in Smash Brothers were just absolute nightmares. Completely unplayable. Even some of the Nintendo Switch Online, like the classic NES games or the Super NES games, as soon as you switch to playing them online with a friend, it introduces a shitload of button lag. And it's like, well, this really sucks a lot of the fun out of this experience.
Why did you do it this way, guys?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, I have very much been enjoying the Sega Genesis online stuff.
Okay.
First off, it functions, unlike the Sega Genesis collection that currently exists on the Switch, so hooray!
So that's something.
That is definitely something. But more importantly, I've just been... because I'm so used to playing the NES and Super NES games online, this works exactly the same way. So the rewind function works exactly the same way. Still unfathomably pissed that the N64 games don't have rewind. That was one of the main things that made me justify the N64 stuff to me. It's like, I could get every star in Super Mario 64 now. I've always wanted to, but I've never actually wanted to because it's a fucking slog. But if I had a rewind feature, then it's a breeze. Every time I miss a jump, I could just try again immediately. I could theoretically still do that with save states, but like I just want that rewind function.
Why isn't that in there? Has there been a reason given?
Nope, none at all.
Just because fuck you, that's why?
I mean, the N64, I don't know if you've been following any of the N64 stuff, but the emulation itself is kind of messy.
Yeah, I've seen people... I saw a lot of complaining and went, I just don't need to be a part of this right now.
Yeah, because again, it's completely uneven. Ocarina of Time has a bunch of weird issues. They're not game-breaking issues, but it's like the room where you fight Dark Link has no mist in it. Apparently fog just doesn't work well in this emulator that they're running, which is weird. There's also, you can't remap buttons for the controls, which is like, what the fuck, guys?
That's just absurd.
Especially because the N64 controller is so different from a Switch controller. Like, the solution they came up with is neat, but you got to give us options here to remap these things for these specific games the way we want them to. Like, you just got to do that. But, Dr. Mario works perfectly. The Genesis games, though, they have the rewind function and everything, just like the other games. So I'm playing Sonic 2, and I'm going to get all the Chaos Emeralds for the first time, like, quote unquote, legitimately. Like, I mean, I'm cheating my ass off with the rewind function, but every time I ever wanted to be Gold Sonic, I'd put in the whole debug code thing and just give myself Gold Sonic. Now I'm going through those bonus modes, which I was never able to beat regular, the half pipe stages. After like the third one, those things are just insane.
Yeah, they're really hard.
Even with the rewind function, I'm just trying them over and over and over again, banging my head against the wall. I only have 2 Chaos Emeralds left, and I just got the Chemical Plant Zone. So I'm almost ready to go Gold Sonic before I even beat level 2. So I'm very happy about that. But
that's awesome.
That's fun. I like Sonic 2. That's really fun. And then after that, I'm going to play some Ristar because I've never played that game before. And then I booted it up the other day on the Switch Online app, and it's like, yeah, this is actually pretty great. I get this. This is fun. I might try to play some of this game. Hooray. And I look at some of the other games on there. It's like, Mean Bean Machine. Okay, I have better versions of Puyo Puyo. And Strider is great on Genesis, but I don't really need to play that again. There's other cool stuff on there that I'm like, I think there's a Phantasy Star or something on there, but I don't have time for an RPG. And if I'm going to dive into a JRPG, I'm going to play Chrono Trigger again because it's been ages.
Yeah.
But, I'm very much enjoying that. I can't wait to see what they add to it. They got to get on a more regular release schedule too. Like, none of this.
They really do.
Wait 5.5 months and then drop Fire and Ice on us. Like, you got to give us something once a month. Get back on a once a month schedule, and don't give up on the NES and Super NES either. I want one thing for each platform once a month.
Yeah,
that's all you need to do. You give me one Nintendo, one Super Nintendo, one Genesis, one N64 every month. Give me that. Get on a regular schedule, make it happen.
PlayStation gives out 2 PS4 and a PS5 game every month, at least.
And all I'm asking for is some old-ass ROMs. Make that shit happen. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sigh. So, yes, It is such a double-edged sword because on one hand, what's there, I'm very much enjoying, but I can't stop thinking about all the stuff that's not there.
Yeah.
Like, because I loved the old service. That $20 a year for any of those NES and Super NES games.
That's a no-brainer.
Easily getting my money's worth out of it. The emulation on those was phenomenal. That was another thing about the N64 thing. There's this infuriating revisionist history going on. We're like, oh man, I had the GameCube bundle with Majora's Mask on it. Everything ran perfectly. The fuck it did. Majora's Mask had an actual warning when you booted it up saying the emulation here is jacked as shit, so things are going to look a little weird. There was an in-game warning for how bad the emulation was.
Revisionist history, Chris. It worked out great.
They're remembering that shit very wrong. Yes, Ocarina of Time was perfectly playable on the GameCube, but it was not as perfect as you think it was.
Yeah.
Anyways. I picked up Skyward Sword again for the first time in quite a while because I've been so busy with other games. And then John was like, I want to play more Skyward Sword. I'm like, well, fuck yeah, let's do it. So I jumped back in and I couldn't figure out how to get back into the sky. I was like, all right, I know I've got to get back to Skyloft. That's the next thing I got to do. So I'm not lost. I remember where I am in the story, and I know what the next thing I need to do is. I have no clue how to do it. Me and him, I was
not lost. I just don't know what to do.
I must have been 10 solid minutes of just running around trying to figure out how the fuck to get back into the sky. It was like, you gotta talk to one of these bird statues, I think, and then you can go up to the sky, but it's gotta be an outdoor one. I don't know where one is. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I can't warp anywhere. What the fuck? And then I thought to myself just now, as I'm saying this, I could have walked downstairs and got that goddamn amiibo that I tried so hard to get, warped to the sky anytime I wanted to.
There you go.
Didn't think about it. I did make it back into the sky. I made it back in the sky. I know where I'm going again. But so yeah, Skyward Sword. Nice to pick that up again. Controls are so weird as fuck in that game, but it still works. So that's something. Biggest news on the other non-Animal Crossing front though was that I finished Axiom Verge 2.
Oh,
and it is a wonderful game.
Oh, I gotta get to that. I gotta get to that before the end of the year.
Yeah.
I gotta get to that, and I gotta get to Returnal at some point.
I hear a lot of good things about that as well.
I do too. I'd like to try and get to Guardians of the Galaxy, but I just don't see where or when that is going to happen.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Psychonauts 2. I want to try and get to it, but I don't see myself actually purchasing it, and I want to play the first one first. So now that I've finished Axiom Verge 2, which, again, phenomenal game. Really liked that game. My next mission is to move on to Psychonauts, which I haven't really had time to come down here and start doing it. And unfortunately, like, given the opportunity, I'm like, well, I'm in my living room. I should just do another race of Rise and Chase Turbo. But really, it's like we finish watching TV, and it's like, all right, I'm going to play a video game. Actually, I'm going to bed.
That's where I've been at, man. Like, all I've been doing, like, my daily stuff in Pad, the daily stuff in the show, because they just pumped out an absurd amount of content with the playoffs and the World Series, and there's a new content drop, like another Team Affinity program, like the Top's Finest program is coming out in like 3 days. It's like, I'm going to bed. Fuck all of you.
It's every fucking night with me. It's like
every night, man.
Well, we watched the new episode we watched another episode of Lock and Key, and it's like, all right, I really want to play a video game. I want to go downstairs and start Psychonauts. I don't have time to start a new game. Like, I gotta watch like the intro and learn controls, and I'm too tired for this shit. I'm just gonna go to bed.
I have been watching Ken Burns' baseball, because baseball is over, so now I need more baseball. God, it's good. It's real long though. it's a commitment, man.
That's what she said.
No, she didn't. She was like, that's mid.
Sane better.
I mean, it'll do, but mid at best. Thanks, honey. Anyway, all right, tell me about this Animal Crossing DLC.
All right.
We're winding down here, Chris.
Yeah. All right, so Animal Crossing
we hit everybody with the sexy stuff up front. So
we did.
give me this Animal Crossing.
All right. Well, I fucking love it. I haven't tried the actual DLC yet. You know, the whole job thing. I haven't even sniffed that. Just there's so much other stuff I'm way more interested in right now. So the most important thing is gyroids, as has always been in all Animal Crossing.
100%.
What I didn't realize in the trailer. So I get my first gyroid. I dug him up. Was thrilled. Just absolutely thrilled. I stood outside, I put him on the ground, I looked at him and was like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I love it. Because they don't all look the same now. They're extremely varied. They don't all look like fire hydrants that are, you know, dressed up or whatever. They are all kinds of shapes. So I go inside, I'm like, all right, where am I going to put this thing? I got to figure out where I'm going to put, you know, I'm going to dedicate a room to gyroids. I'm going to figure out where to put them. And so I'm standing in my music room because, like, obviously I want to put them in a room that has good music playing because then they'll dance to the music. And I go to place it, and one of the options was place on wall. It's like, you fucking kidding me?
I might be in.
I can line, you can't, it's not just like put one on wall and there's that where it is. You can line your walls with gyroids. Just a shelf pops up, there's a gyroid on it.
Keep going, I'm almost there.
So, I mean, that's just pure love right there. And
yeah, that's great.
The gyroids, they show up on your island, and then you can get gyroid pieces on the islands that you visit via Cap'n, which, having Cap'n back in my life is so wonderful. I fucking love Cap'n. He sings about cucumbers. He's everything he was in the other games, just a glory. You just go to the dock, he's sitting there on his boat at all times, 24 hours a day, costs 1,000 Nook miles, and you take a trip out to a random-ass island. Now, these random-ass islands have weird shit on them. Like, I went to the first one and was like, all right, it's got some roses and holly bushes. That's kind of weird. And then I dug up a gyroid piece. And so the gyroid pieces, so on your own island, it's still fossils, but there's occasional gyroids too. And you just dig up a full gyroid, there it is. But these gyroid pieces, you take them back home, you bury them, and then you water them, and the hole starts to steam. And then the next day, it's a functional gyroid, whatever it may be. I fucking love it. It's so weird. I'm so into it.
That is absurd.
But Cap'n's Island is like, then I went and the next day to another island, and there was wheat. It's like, oh, okay. So I dug up a whole bunch of fucking wheat, and I brought it home. I was like, I don't have anywhere to put this, but I'm going to start a garden, and now I have wheat. That's wonderful. And then I went out to an island today, and there were vines growing. So I pulled down the vines and glowing moss. Okay, cool. So now I've got vines and glowing moss. And the vines are super cool because you can climb them. So you can place them on any cliff on your island, and then you don't have to ever use your stepladder. You can just climb the vines. You can also place a ladder permanently, which, I mean, I think is new. Maybe I missed it if you could do this before. But so I have this golden toilet shrine in my town.
Naturally.
It's like a small island with a waterfall and gold roses and one golden toilet in the middle. And it's just this shrine that I built, but you always have to use your stepladder to get up there. So I bought a ladder. I just put it on the side permanently, and now I can climb this ladder and get to my golden toilet anytime I want. It's fucking beautiful. So gyroids, which, I mean, just God bless him. Cap'n serenading me and my kids every day, because the kids both want to get on Cap'n's boat and listen to him sing. We're all walking around the house humming Cap'n's tunes. It's just goddamn delightful. This is all wonderful, but there's more. Like I said, I haven't touched the actual DLC yet. So then there's Brewster's Cafe, which is very cute. It's not anything I feel like I'm getting a lot out of, but it's like, I've seen pictures online of people having these really cool conversations with other characters. I don't know how that's happening. So I know some of it is through amiibos and amiibo cards, which I don't have many of those for Animal Crossing, and I'm not going to invest in them. But there's also I think there's other ways to get, just if you're hanging out in there, someone will occasionally just walk in, which is also something else they add. Like, if you're in your house, somebody will knock on your door and just come in and be like, hey, what's going on? they'll just start
Sup,
wandering
homie?
in your house for a while. It's great. All right, cool. I got visitors. Cool. Come check out my kitchen. It's a good time. I haven't even touched the cooking yet either. I got cooking recipes. I haven't touched it yet. Just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does. But I'm super into it. I also don't know how to polish things. I saw that in the trailer, and it's fucking hilarious. I want to polish every gyroid in my house. I have no idea how to do it yet. So I haven't learned that yet. I haven't even looked into it. But there's this, so cooking and polishing, I haven't even sniffed that stuff yet. Probably the coolest thing, and Brewster is very neat. It's very cool to walk in there and get a cup of coffee for a minute. It's a complete waste of time as far as I can tell, but so is all of Animal Crossing.
I was going to say, as opposed to all of the rest of it.
As opposed to all the rest of it. But it's neat, and I'm so happy it's there. But what's really surprised me to become so good is Harv's Island, which was a complete fucking waste of time before. I did it once. It was like, I don't understand why anyone would ever want to do this. This is the weird hippie dude. You go out to fly out to his island and then take pictures of things. Like, I got no interest in this at all. This does nothing for me at all. But now he's opening this big ass co-op in the back. And like, so there's all these gyroids set up. And if you pay them off, then somebody will show up and set up a permanent shop there. So I got Red to set up a permanent shop on Harv's Island. Now I can check for art every day.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's so great. I've already gotten 2 new pieces. Now, granted, it's still Red, so there's a better than even chance he's selling you fake shit or he's just got shit you already have. And it's only 2 items instead of the 4 that's in when his boat actually shows up on your island. But still, there's like
whatever.
There's an end game. I can finish my fucking museum.
Maybe.
Sometime before I die, I can continue to check this every day, and huzzah, I can get new artwork regularly instead of just like crossing my fingers and hoping that Red shows up once every couple of weeks. And then even then, there's a 50-50 chance he's not going to have anything you need. It's like the art thing was just so obnoxious. So I got Red to show up, and then I got those 2 alpacas to show up that'll customize like fucking anything. And then today I paid off a spot for Tortimer to show up. I have no idea what Tortimer's going to do, but Tortimer's going to be there. I miss that guy. He used to be the mayor in the old Animal Crossing games.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's going to do. It has something to do with storage. I'm like, okay. Can I go there and access my storage? Why? Why would I want to do that? I don't care. It's fucking Tortimer. He's going to sit there and tell me stories. I'm into that.
I'm into it.
So at the museum, they were giving out these posters since I'd completed the bugs, sea creatures, and fossils. So I got posters for, I got 4. What's the other one? Oh, bugs, fish, fossils, and sea creatures. So if you have those completed, you get these framed posters, which are really nice. I have no idea if there's going to be a framed poster for art, but I hope there is.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And the other big change, which I also really like, it's a subtle thing. It's right in the beginning when you start your game, and Isabel's giving her announcements in the morning. She tells you who the visitor is.
Oh, that's cool.
So like when you start the game, she says CJ's in town. Fucking A. Now I don't have to go wandering around hoping that I can figure out who the fuck's in town. Like, she'll tell me as I load it up. So like, okay, do I need to pay attention to this person? No. Oh, now I know CJ's in town, so I'm going to catch a bunch of fish so I can make a bunch of bells. Like, something like that.
That's awesome. That's a really nice, like, quality of life adjustment.
And it's such a simple thing, but yes, it's huge. It just feels so much better. This update is just about everything I wanted. The only other thing I wanted was like a new bunch of bugs and fish and stuff, but the gyroids are scratching that itch for me because it's like, all right, I just want to collect all the gyroids. I don't know how to tell what I've gotten now. I have 2 of the same gyroid that are different colors right now. I didn't know that was a thing. All right, cool. I wish I could remember the name of this one gyroid. He's my new favorite gyroid ever. He just freaks the fuck out. Like, that's what he does. I put him down, and he's got these 2 lanky arms, and he just spazzes the fuck out. Like, he's not dancing. He's just like, just completely spazzes out. I'm like, this thing's my hero. I love this gyroid. And he does it to the rhythm of whatever music is there, but he's not dancing. He is absolutely spazzing the fuck out. I love it.
That's fun.
It's great. I'm playing every day with a big old smile on my face. It doesn't feel like a chore at all. It's just I want to get up and I want to go check out Harv's Island for the art, and then I want to go, take a trip out with Cap'n. And I have all these like big plans for rearranging East Todd to like make room for a garden and start cooking shit and
sure.
It's totally revitalized my love of Animal Crossing, which is like
that's what I've heard.
I'm glad you've heard that. And again, it did not need to, because I got my money's worth out of that game.
Right.
I played that game every day for like a year and a half. That's nuts.
That is nuts.
Now, I played it every day for a solid year, and then like I cut back a bit for another couple of months. And then after I got the last sea creatures in March, I was like, all right, I feel like I'm kind of sort of done. And then I'd still check in like once a week, once every other week.
Right.
Which is fun, just to kind of see what's what. Most of it's like, well, there's flowers everywhere, and I really don't feel like digging those up, so whatever.
Don't give a shit.
It was fun to still, I was still semi-regularly checking in.
Right.
But that was fine. I was fine with being done with it because, like I said, money's worth gotten. That game has paid for itself in entertainment value tons of times over. Put the time in. It's such a great value. And man, I'm still seeing people say the original Animal Crossing was the best one. I'm like, you are fucking nuts, man. I understand that people don't like the way this game slowly rolled things out, but even if you take that shit away, as far as actual playability, I don't see how you could... Going back to that original GameCube game, like even when I visited it just when the first game came out, when the new game came out last year, it's like, you can hold like 8 things. Like, there was so much... What's the word? Like, redundancy. There was so much redundancy in that game.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing with the fossils, that you'd have to take them to the museum and then Blathers would send them out and you wouldn't be able to tell what they are for another day. Like, there was so much redundancy in that game. And while it does do a lot of things that I wish the new ones did too, like the NES games or like being able to kick a ball around town, like the stuff that they've added to this, to the new ones, are just like, I don't know. I think this is clearly the best Animal Crossing game.
Yeah. I mean,
hey, whatever.
No, I mean, my daughter Katie is very excited about the Animal Crossing DLC. She hasn't downloaded it yet because she is in the middle of Deltarune and doing some cookie run stuff. She's also really excited about the Bug Snacks update that is coming.
Heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, like that looks to be some Animal Crossing light. So I don't know. We'll talk about that soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it done there, Kris. I think that's a good place to put a pin in it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't have anything else to talk about. I talked about all the games I've been playing, and that was fun.
Yeah, padding the show. I'll just keep it simple because you talked to.
I talked a lot. I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Yeah,
God, it's 10:45. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Episode with no point. 10:45.
All right, that's going to be our show. Join us next week when we're going to be doing something Thanksgiving related. What will it be? Who the heck knows?
It's a surprise.
It's a
surprise. We totally know.
It's a secret to everybody.
That's right. We get it.
We are on most social media platforms. And if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, the Geekade Patreon, which helps keep this show running week after week, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making this show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That is it. Thanks for listening, everybody. On behalf of Dan and myself, keep playing games.